So, hello.
Hi.
Tell us something about yourself, your basic background, where are you from, what do you do for a living, or something.
I'm Haraprasanna Nayak.
Yeah.
I am from New Delhi
Yeah.
and I'm doing my MBA at IIM Calcutta. I have done my internship in marketing in New Delhi, where I was told to launch a product on my own. And yeah, that's about me.
So we saw you other day. You were purchasing a Dairy Milk chocolate. So why did you purchase that Dairy Milk chocolate specifically?
I like the whole aspect of it, the packaging, the taste of the chocolate in it, and it's been there. You know, I have been having Dairy Milk for the past 10-15 years.
Is Dairy Milk your preferred chocolate brand?
Yes, mostly.
So how often do you consume it?
Almost. It's so yeah. We do have it a lot during the festive times when people come and give us as gifts. So that's always been there at our house. And apart from that, sometimes once or twice in a week when I feel like having something sweet, so I just go and have it after dinner.
So are you so do you consume it regularly? I mean, on a daily basis, or can you just give me a rough idea of how many times a week you consume the chocolate?
I would say probably 2 to say 3, 4, 2 to 5 times in a week.
So why do you prefer Dairy Milk over other chocolates? As you said, Dairy Milk is your preferred brand of chocolate, right? So what is the aspect of Dairy Milk which you like the most? Is it the taste, or the color of the packaging, or the brand image, or the price at which you get, or the accessibility?
I would say it is more of the taste, the complete taste that it gives, because the other chocolates, they take out their different variants, but Dairy Milk is something that has never changed its taste. It's always been the same since for the past 10 years, since I was young. I've been having Dairy Milk. So yeah, mostly because of the taste, and then yeah, even the packaging looks better than other chocolates.
So do you recall the first time when you consumed Dairy Milk?
I must be very young, but should have been 11, 12 something when I was 12.
So did you consume it through a reference? I mean, did somebody tell you to consume that particular chocolate, or did you consume it on your own? It was more or less your own purchase of impulse?
Probably, like I said, Dairy Milk is the most preferred chocolates you give, when you go to someone's place, or it's like a gifting chocolate. So I've been having it, at my house from a really long time now.
So can you just tell me about how was your overall experience when you first consumed the chocolate, if you can recall it?
I was really young, but yeah, as far as I can remember, it has always been really, really tasty. It melts in your mouth, and it gives you a very good chocolatey taste,
So there are different brands of chocolate available in India. So there are different variants of Dairy Milk also. Cadbury has launched other chocolates. There is certain Nestle, there is Kit Kat, there is Amul chocolates.
Yeah.
So what is the most important parameter which you think, which you choose when you choose a chocolate? What is the most important parameter on which you purchase a chocolate?
When I go to buy a chocolate, it's mostly what appeals most to you when you look at it. So probably in the first go, it would be the packaging.
It would be the overall packaging.
It would be
So you said you were 11 years when you consumed Dairy Milk, and you have been consuming it for more than 12 years, I think now. So how often do you feel the urge of eating the chocolate? I mean, is it every time after a meal, or is it occasionally?
It's not every time after a meal, but yeah, I do feel like consuming it almost every week. I mean, there would be no week that has gone by when I haven't had a Dairy Milk.
Are you emotionally attached to that product? I mean, what kind of feeling it raises to you when you're sad or upset? Do you want to consume it, or it's just about hunger and?
No, it really depends a lot on my mood. When I feel like having it, I really go and grab a Dairy Milk. I go to different shops. If it's not available, I'll actually go to a shop and buy Dairy Milk.
So So are the chocolates are the chocolates a substitute for you for a food? I mean, they are readily available and ready to eat thing, right? So are they a substitute for a food, or you have a strong urge from inside for eating chocolate specifically?
Yeah, it's more specific. I never consider it a food product. So.
Okay.
So okay, now we will talk about some of the accessibility things of the dairy milk. So do you find it easily accessible to most of the shops, or have you ever had a difficulty in locating it?
It's not mostly there in the kirana shops or the small shops, but it's generally there in the society or the local residential shops.
Okay. So when you go to kirana shop and you don't find a dairy milk, so what is the other alternate option which you choose?
I'd probably take Kit Kat.
So is that readily available in the shop? Is that more often available than compared to dairy milk?
Not really. There are actually some kirana shops they do keep because Kit Kat has launched its small two bar Kit Kats, so they are like sometimes available in the kirana shops.
So you said that you usually find the smaller 2 rupee or 3 rupee variants of Kit Kat or some other toffees if you don't. So dairy milk is not usually too much accessible to you in small stores.
But their dairy milk do have their 5 rupee pack. But they're like really small, so I never feel like having the small version of dairy milk.
Okay. So is it that you like to consume that whole 10 rupee packet of dairy milk, and you usually don't consume that 5 rupee variant of dairy milk?
Yes, exactly.
So in a way you prefer other toffees or chocolate over the 5 rupee variant of dairy milk?
Yes.
Any specific reason for that?
The 10 rupee, I feel like the 10 rupee dairy milk pack gives you more value for money. The money you're paying, it's good enough for a 10 rupee. But the 5 rupee pack, they have very thin sized.
So you feel the chocolate content is less.
Exactly. It's content is very less.
Okay. So since you have been consuming dairy milk for 12 years, has there been any time you have had a bad experience with the dairy milk, as in the quality issue or the poor packaging, or since the weather is very hot in India, so the chocolate melts, so do you prefer those kind of chocolates? I mean, whenever it melts, or
the best part about dairy milk is that even when it melts, it tastes really good.
Okay. So in general, you have never had a bad experience. So the weather is not an issue in India. So even if it melts, you consume it. Okay. Can you just give me a rough idea? It's just a hypothetical question. So out of 10 times you go and buy a chocolate, how many times you would consume a dairy milk?
Probably 6 or 7 times.
6 or 7 times. So there might have been an instances, right, when you have a dairy milk also, but there is a dairy milk also available, but you have consumed another chocolate.
Yeah.
So why do you consume? What leads you to consume that other chocolate apart from dairy milk?
Probably the thing is, I only consume dairy milk if I want to spend like 10 rupees for the thing. But if I have more of my disposable amount of money, I'll go and spend on a higher range chocolate maybe.
Okay. So price is also one of the things which drives you to. So do you think dairy milk gives you the good value of money overall as compared to other chocolate?
Yes.
So if those higher end chocolates, suppose say a Ferrero Rocher or a Snicker or a Mars bar or a Toblerone, if that would be available at the same price in dairy, at say a same 10 rupee price at which dairy milk is available, so would you prefer them over dairy milk?
Probably, but that won't that won't stop me from having dairy milk, because there is an emotional attachment also with the brand.
So but the consumption pattern might decrease
it
gradually.
might decrease, exactly.
So dairy milk has also come up with a lot of ad campaigns in India. So do you like any particular ad campaign of dairy milk which had emotionally, which has touched your soft points?
So ever since we always keep seeing dairy milk ads in our houses. So from Aaj Pehli Tareekh hai, that ad is really good. When it's actually basically like on the first day of when you get your salary, you should just go and celebrate it with a dairy milk. So
you were able to have that emotion.
Yeah, sometimes I've had that when I've actually done something nice and I feel like having a chocolate.
So
I
it's more or less you have that emotional connect with the dairy milk, that whenever you feel something good, you go and have a dairy milk. So can we say that it's an ideal replacement for an Indian sweets which you get? Dairy Milk?
The trend is starting to show, so it can.
Do you prefer Dairy Milk over the traditional Indian sweets, or would you prefer Indian sweets more over the Dairy
There
Milk?
are some Indian sweets that I really like, but yeah, there are not too many. But 2 or 3. Apart from that, I do like them. Yeah, I'll consider them.
So can you recall of any famous ad of Dairy Milk which you like the most? Anything?
Their Shubharam ad campaign is really nice. Yeah.
So, as you said, you have a specific urge to eat the chocolates. So, what if you are not able to get the chocolates in general? Forget the Dairy Milk or forget the smaller variants. You feel like what is the product that acts as a substitute for it? If you don't get the chocolates.
Any kind of chocolate?
No, if in general you are not able to consume chocolates, so is there any other product?
Probably I'll just go for sweets.
Okay.
Indian sweets, but I don't think there is any other.
So, if you are not able to, you feel like going a Dairy Milk chocolate. If suppose you are not able to get the chocolate, so is the chocolate eating the wholesome experience the same fun when you consume a Dairy Milk rather than consuming a substitute?
No, Dairy Milk is. The whole experience is really different from the ones that have substitutes.
So probably the happiness quotient is little less
it goes
if you consume some other chocolate. Okay. If you could change something about Dairy Milk, like what it is available right now, if you wanted to change something about the product, then what would you change?
We talked about the packaging and the size of the packaging.
But yeah, the smaller variants can have much more content in them, and the packaging has always been good. So yeah.
So probably you were a little dissatisfied with the smaller variant.
Yes,
Felt
exactly.
that so the smaller variant should have a little more content in it rather than because the competitors are having the better products at a lower price, right? So one more thing, when you purchase a chocolate, do you take the chocolate and consume it immediately, or do you also have a stock purchase or bulk purchase which you can later keep or consume?
Yes, it will take stock.
Thank you. Okay. We asked you about your favorite ad campaign in Dairy Milk. Yeah, can you recall some ad campaign?
So yeah, I really like the ad that was there as a part of the Shubharam campaign, where that boy, at the bus stop asks a girl about, can he have a bite from his Dairy Milk and stuff.
So were you able to emotionally link in that character? Were you able to somehow relate yourself with that character in the ad campaign?
Maybe yeah. During my teenage days, I would have been like that. So yeah.
So did you feel like purchasing a Dairy Milk then?
Yeah, I did.
And you must be in your school days, right, when that ad campaign ran. So was that ad campaign influential on your friends also? I mean, how popular was Dairy Milk in your school days? Like when we were in school days or college days. Like when we were in our college days, every other on every other occasion we used to consume some chocolate. So was that the same trend in your school?
Most of my friends like Dairy Milk. Like whenever you go and give someone Dairy Milk, no one says no.
Okay.
Everyone's like up for it. Maybe they might have different preference towards other of their favorite chocolates, but yeah, no one says no to a Dairy Milk.
Okay. So do you think a Dairy Milk is also an impressive mean? Dairy Milk is also a good means for impressing a girl?
Yes, girls do like chocolates, and
Okay.
you can always give her a Dairy Milk. And now they have also started with their premium range chocolates. So
Okay.
if you want to give them a premium range Dairy Milk, they do have that variant also.
So when you were in your college, who were the more frequent consumers of Dairy Milk? Were the were the female students who used to consume that more frequently, or was it the male students?
As far as I know, it's always been the females who
Okay.
always keep consuming it.